Greetings from Rotrak Singhania. I am Keshika, and today we are going to be talking about cyberbullying, more specifically, how it endangers our life. With the rapid growth of overusage of social media, I guess we are getting extremely comfortable with the bullying going around. Cyberbullying is definitely more than just passing tormenting comments about each other on social platforms. It can affect your mental health in a negative manner. So, Aryan and Sanika are here to again make us aware of how important it is for us to overcome this. So, to start with, we would love to know how you exactly came up with the idea of this organization.
Okay, so Hopin Media is a youth-centric platform and it is a youth community. We post content on current affairs, social issues, and trending topics. Our key goal was to make news and current affairs accessible to the teen students and the adolescent population, and to make them believe that they can stay in touch with what's going on in the world. And how we came up with the name and everything, I think Aryan can tell you that.
Well, yeah, we're not quite sure about how we came up with the name because basically it does not mean anything in particular. However, if you want to just consider a meaning for the name Hop In, then maybe just hop in and take the knowledge. And we are a news and media company, and our target audience is the youth. And we basically make sure that we simplify the complicated articles out there across various media platforms, and we present them to them in a simplified and an understandable manner. So that's what we are doing over here. So you could say that we are providing resources to them in order to metamorphose into like-minded individuals.
Okay, that's really thoughtful. So let's jump into the main arena now. What exactly is cyberbullying for you, and how do you decipher between a joke and bullying? So a lot of memes are forwarded in our day-to-day lives, and how do you understand if it is a personal attack or is it just a joke?
Okay, cyberbullying, first of all, is a very serious issue that needs to be addressed, not just in our country, but globally. It is like a silent pandemic affecting the youth and adolescent population around the world. The reason I say silent is because 9 out of 10 individuals who are being cyberbullied do not choose not to talk about it or choose not to tell people about uh, the fact that they are getting bullied. Now, joke is a very broad term for me. It depends from person to person. I feel like it depends on your relation with the person who's making the joke, or the relationship between the two people among whom the joke is being circulated. Um, its joke is more of a in a playful nature. When you ask me the difference between a joke and a bullying is more of in a threatening nature. Like, the purpose of a bully is he's intentionally targeting you and intentionally trying to say hurtful things about you, but a joke is not intentional. It is supposed to be playful. That's my understanding of it.
Okay, and Aryan, you?
Yeah, for me, well, cyberbullying is basically divided into two terms. So cyber and bullying. So it's like you use digital technologies in order to maybe scare someone, maybe insult or embarrass someone across social media platforms. So that's the basic definition of cyberbullying, as you could say it. And well, as for the question that how would you differentiate between a joke and a bully over there across cyber networks? So well, again, as Sanika said, that it's quite relative. It depends from person to person and their intentions as well. So many a times it might happen that there is a friend who is maybe posting funny photos of you, embarrassing photos of you on social media platforms, and maybe you felt bad about that, but then maybe that friend will just wave that off by saying, "Oh, it's just a prank. Just forget about it. Don't think about it." Okay, then that's fine. That's fine because you know that it was your friend doing that and it was not badly intentioned. But even if that friend continues posting that thing and comments are pouring in, and people are spreading hate about you. People are commenting bad things about you, and you start feeling bad about it. You start feeling wrongly about it. Then what will you do? You'll just approach that friend, and you'll ask him that, just remove this. I don't want that. And even if that friend persists that behavior and he does not remove that even on you asking that, then that becomes a form of cyberbullying again. So that's the thing, that even if it is a friend, then it might be a form of cyberbullying. So it's just the intention behind that activity which is being done.
Okay, so the intentions are something that plays a very huge role. Okay, so the next question, back when we used to have offline schools, our teachers were more concerned about in-person bullying that kept happening around. Now that since last year, a lot of things have changed and we have become all the more active on social media, for example, Twitter or Instagram. How do you think cyberbullying is different from in-person bullying?
Cyberbullying is quite distinct from in-person bullying, because when a person is being bullied physically, then it is quite likely that the person will not be able to, well, I mean, if when a person is being bullied in person, then it's quite likely that the person can confront the other person, or maybe he could approach someone, and maybe complain about that person, that this is being done to me. I want you to take some action. Maybe a teacher, or maybe a counselor, or maybe a guide or a mentor. But that's quite difficult when you come in the scenario of an online system and an online platform. When you're being bullied on a cyber platform, it becomes quite difficult to approach people, especially your parents, because while you're scrolling through your phone, and then there's someone who's posting funny stuff about you, weird stuff about you, embarrassing stuff about you, then it's even difficult for you to approach your parents and say that this is happening to me, this is actually what is happening to you. You tend to hide it, although it seems quite easy. Okay, I'll approach my parent and I'll tell them that this is what is happening to me, but then that's not that easy, is it? So for those, I read some instances on the internet where people found it difficult genuinely to approach people after being cyberbullied. So that's one difference. You cannot confront people, you cannot approach someone openly. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, very true. Sanika, you have anything to say about it?
I think mostly what he said, I agree with completely. And also, a point in online bullying is that sometimes you don't know who it is. Like sometimes the account is anonymous, sometimes you can't make out who it is and who's behind it. And that makes it even more difficult for you to approach the person or know who's doing it. At least in person bullying, you know who's accountable for it, and the person who's bullying can take the responsibility for it.
So in-person bullying can also be physical.
Yeah, to some extent.
Yes. So the next question can be a bit controversial, but do you think the term cyberbullying holds an important aspect to it, or do people just talk or post about it just because it is a trend? Just give me your views about it.
I think obviously it's not a trend. I mean, I think the reason people feel that it's a trend is because it's being talked about a lot, and a lot of platforms decide to share information about it. But I think the key purpose behind this is that the people who are actually facing such kind of bullying, or the people who are the actual victim of such practices, come forward and they believe that okay, it's not just me, it's happening to a lot of people and I can feel free to talk about it. I mean, I think the people who are going through such stuff, what do they need? They need validation. They need somebody to tell them that okay, you don't need to feel insecure about yourself because somebody told this about you. I think it's more that the person needs to hear that I'm beautiful and I'm awesome the way I am. And I think that is it. That is the reason it's being talked about it so much, so that it becomes normal, and the person gets some validation and there's some openness to the topic.
Very true. Aryan, you have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I would say that it's both more like a trend, and it's a thing that people are raising awareness about. So basically, since everything went online a year ago, so maybe mostly social media platforms, those hashtags were trending, and to boost your metrics, you just post about that stuff, you just copy paste information from the internet, and take it to that advantage. But then there are people who are genuinely posting about these things, maybe because they have been victims to that thing, maybe they've seen people becoming victims, so they are trying to genuinely raise awareness. And I feel that it's important as well, because cyber security and prevention of cyberbullying, it's become a matter of concern right now. So yeah, it's best of both the things, I would say. Both of them are happening.
Yeah, very true. Okay, so this is probably the last question that I have for you both, but it's really interesting. That's why I have saved it for the last. If you had a choice for implementing some law against cyberbullying, what could it possibly be? Any idea that you can come up with?
Would they, just ban all the social media accounts for forever, maybe forever, because cyberbullying is something which is, it does not have a definite law, and the systems, they don't have any definite framework for punishment as well. So you could punish them in your own way. The companies could punish them, and it's best to give them a taste of their own medicine. Maybe send them to a mental asylum, give them some counseling, give them some treatment, because cyberbullying is, sort of a thing which is a kind of a, what could you say? It's something which is really wrong, and it needs to be prevented. So what I feel is that prevent forming of any social media accounts from that particular IP address of that particular device. Maybe if that person shifts to another device and starts spreading hate again, then obviously that person is going to be revealed. Because because if his intentions have changed, then that's a different thing. But if his intentions have remained the same, then anyways he's going to fall prey to that again. And obviously, if he's spreading such hate, in fact, there was an instance where an IITian from Hyderabad, he had sent a rape threat to Virat Kohli's daughter, and he was sent to jail for that. And yeah, he was let out on bail, of course, because that's the system in India. But again, the thing is that people are going to troll you, and you try to cyberbully someone, people are now cyberbullying you. So that's the thing. That's how it ends. A poetic end, I would say.
Yeah, the example you gave about Virat Kohli's daughter, the same happened with Dhoni's daughter as well. It's something that keeps on going around a lot. And Sanika, you, anything to say?
When you talk about solution, actually there are many, but I'll tell you about my recent psychology project. Cyberbullying was actually the topic that was taken up, and we had to find solutions to prevent such things. So I think the thing that we came up with was a software that could, when somebody's trying to write a meaningful text or text that could hurt somebody, a message would pop out on their screen and say that, listen, it's a warning message that, listen, this is a hurtful message. Do you still want to go ahead and send it? And what we found out was that 62% of the individuals refrain from sending the message after this pop out. So I think that's probable solution that social media sites could use.
That's a really great idea.
Right, I wanted to add to what she said, that yeah, AI technologies can be really helpful while you're doing something about this cyberbullying issue. And also, I feel that maybe you could remove the anonymity of accounts. So basically, when you're forming an account on social media platforms, then the social media company should make sure that people use their original and genuine names, and the original and genuine names are matched with a verified document before creating that account from a verified source, basically, so that yeah, this is the person, and the person has created the account using this name. And because anyone could write any random name like 5 star 10, rock star 5, all these names, and then they spread hate on all these platforms. So I feel that anonymity should be removed, because what is the point of anonymity at all? Because if you are wanting to spread hate through these platforms, through these social media platforms, then that's of no use as well. So remove anonymity, and yeah, again, this software is a good idea, as she said.
Yeah, very true. So now that we have come to the end of the podcast, I'd like to thank both of you for your presence, for cooperating and answering to the questions, and also to the people who have been listening to this podcast till the end. It was lovely having you both, and it is absolutely fantastic how you run your account on Instagram. It's very informative, and I'm sure there's more to come. So that's it. Have a great day ahead, and bye.